Hi friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. It's been quite a while since I've made a video. I thought I'd try to pop back in and do an update, a combination of like a pickups video and an update. And I had a lot of other things planned initially for my first video coming back, but it just didn't work out. The move was very successful. We're extremely happy here. The house is awesome. We get everything moved in. It took a lot of time to get the house where we wanted it and to get everything fixed and set up, and I'm still working on the garage and game room and all that, but my back went out really bad from moving and working on the other house, and then the move here. I just got out of surgery. Had surgery last Monday. This is being filmed on God, it's actually been over a week. It's a week ago, not last Monday, but it was on the Monday before, and they let me out a little early on Wednesday evening. I'm supposed to stay till Thursday. And worked out good. So I got to come home, and it's been tough on my wife trying to take care of me and everything at the same time. Luckily, I had my desk, and the last weekend I finished hooking up my desk and PC, and we found out my Windows XP PC thing didn't even have a Wi-Fi set up, so we couldn't figure out why it wasn't connecting with the internet. So we bought like a little bridge thing, or whatever they call it, that external Wi-Fi deal, and got it finally working. So that's another reason why I haven't made a video. Is it just, it took forever to get everything unpacked, and the movers fucked everything up. They didn't mark everything, so it was like a mystery, like Christmas, opening boxes to see what's in them. Oh, finally, here's the thing I've been looking for, that kind of thing. But we get settled. We love it here. My blood pressure's gone down. I mean, it literally is like paradise. And even with this, virus crap and all that's been going on, that was tough. Tough on me and my family in particular. I'll get into that on a separate video. I didn't want to, ruin this with some heavy duty stuff. But we had a death in the family because of this virus, and it's been tough. So I thought it wasn't appropriate to make a video for a while. It was kind of a somber time where I needed to reflect on my family and on what's important, and being here is a big part of that. Moving here and being in a new place, and like here, the restaurants are all open, and there are people that have the virus, but it's not near as bad as it is in California and other states. So we have a lot more freedom here. You can still go around. It's like business as usual. Most stores are open, and a couple places unfortunately closed, and it's been tough on some people. The bars in particular, of course, they opened them for a while and they shut them back down. But all the restaurants, we've had several meals in the restaurants, which is nice, and nice to get out and have a bite and everything. But I'm on a huge diet right now because I'm supposed to be in bed. My wife wasn't thrilled about me making this video. She was, oh, you shouldn't be sitting, and so I'm kind of leaning forward in this chair. My back this is way more pain than I bargained for. I'm on some really heavy duty painkillers to get through this one. So. But I'll have a tour video soon. My wife this weekend, we almost had the game room done. I posted a few pictures on my community page, but I've got a lot of like collectibles to unpack and still some more games and things. So another week or so, I should be able to do a nice tour video of the house as well as the game room, which really came out nice. I mean, better than I even anticipated. But in the meantime, I thought I'd do some pickups videos. I did have, let me find it here. I had one nice gift from a friend in New York. Let me see. This is from a friend Michael in New York. Got me this Ion Fury, which is from 3D Realms that did all the original Duke Nukem games. And the graphics on this are fantastic. This is a really cool game. I'm just delighted to actually have a physical copy of this. Initially, it was like a digital game only, I believe, but I know that 3D Realms themselves had published some games that you could get, which is pretty cool. So thank you, Michael, so much for this. This is such a great gift. And these devs wouldn't refuse to bow to the the SJWs that wanted them to change the content. They didn't like a lot of the types of jokes that were in it or whatever. Kind of like Duke Nukem, so. And they said, screw you, we're going to do it the way we want to do it, which is cool. So because of that, my friend Michael bought himself and I a copy to congratulate them, in other words. Wanted to honor the people that are making the game the way they want to be made and not try to buckle under the, this pressure or whatever. I had a special unboxing I'm going to do last, but I'll quickly get through this. We found there's a couple nice GameStops here. Their hours had changed. They had opened from like 12 to 8 at night, I believe. So they're not quite open as early as the ones in California. And they only let in like, 5 or 10 people at a time in the store, just because of the social distancing thing and all that. But I've been there. I got a few games. I don't know if I had showed any of these or not, but I picked up Need for Speed Heat. That was one of the last ones I picked up. This may have been picked up right before my move here, if I'm correct. And then I also got the day it came out, the Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Really cool game. I love the Zombie Army trilogy. That's one that I have in my hard drive, and eventually I bought the physical copy just to have it because I love this game. And I have all the season passes and the DLC for this. This is a very cool game. I got Jedi Fallen Order. I've looked and looked and looked everywhere for this, and finally they had one copy at the GameStop here, and I jumped on it, so I'm real thrilled to have this. This is one I want to play soon if I can. Another thing about my back surgery is that I had one in early 2016. You have to excuse me, I'm really dehydrated from my meds. I think it was like April of 2016, I had a pretty extensive back surgery then. But I had a lot of post-surgery pain, and it left me with the inability to sit for more than short periods of time, 20, 30 minutes tops, and I'm just climbing the walls. So because of that, that's when I stopped my gaming. I mean, right up until that point, I was putting in 144 hours into Fallout 4. I had 270 hours in Mad Max in late 2015. So I put all my games, I would try to buy them and put, tons of, tens of hours, at least 20 hours into them. Like a lot of my Far Cry 4, I've got like 35 hours in that. And so I used to put a lot of extensive time into gaming until then. And since then, with a lot of the, Wolfenstein 2 and, Rage 2 and, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, I just can't play it. For me to sit and play like an hour straight, I would tense my back up so much. It was just too much pain to go through. So because of that, I've just played like easy platformers and like that Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. I've played that extensively, and a lot of racing games. Those are easy. Lay down on my side and just kind of get into a Zen mode and play them. I drink plenty of water right now. I'm really dehydrated. They had a great sale. They had like a buy 2 get 1 free at GameStop. So I got this NASCAR Heat 4. It's another great NASCAR game. I think the 5 is already out now for the new one. And I finally got the grid, and I bought the Ultimate Edition with the season pass. It has all the cars and everything. This is a great game. The graphics on this are just fantastic. This I uploaded a short video, a little bit of a Dirt Rally 2.0. I need to get the season pass for this. There's just tons of extra tracks and cars and racing. The campaign mode, unfortunately, is online only, but you can play like going and play single races in an offline mode. So because of that, I bought it. I wasn't thrilled about that, but what can you do? Finally, I got Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually got this for free because I bought 2 other games. So I got this, and this was the $60 game I got for free. So I was really happy to have this. When I'm going to have the time to sit and play something like this, who knows? I might be able. Third-person shooters are typically a little bit more easy for me to play. I tend to get into the FPS ones more and get it, italicized and tense my back up. But great game. The day this came out, I couldn't find a copy anywhere. I had to find a Best Buy, and Best Buy had 1 copy, and I was able to get this Man-Eater game, which looks good. I had a friend of mine that did some gameplay videos of this and did a review of it. Really a cool game. These are more fun games, and this will be like another game in my unboxing I'm going to do later. It's a lot like this. So those are some of the newer games that I bought. I set these over here. I got, not really game related, but they're very cool. I've always wanted, I think it was like 2014 or so, I was watching on Netflix, they had Star Wars, The Clone Wars. They had a pilot and then they had the series. And so I got, ended up getting the movie pilot. My wife ordered all these for me on DVD. The Blu-rays were like, God, $400 for the set for Blu-ray. It's just so expensive to get all of them, and I couldn't pay it. So I got the DVDs, and I have not one but 2 Sony Blu-ray players that upscale to 4K. So it takes a regular DVD signal and upscales it to where it looks like a Blu-ray, and they look amazing. They really do. So I got this, and I bought But the seasons 1 through 5 of the Clone Wars, beautifully done, fantastic behind the scenes things of the guy that produced it. George Lucas actually was the executive producer and had his hand in many of the episodes, and design choices and character choices, and his used a lot of spaceships and clothing and stuff from stuff that he didn't use in episodes 1, 2, and 3, and he ended up reusing those and pulling the files out, and they went through those and had a lot of input on it. The Clone Wars, I got the final season. Oh, there's also, you get season 6, I've got here, the Lost Missions, and then I've got the season 7, the final season of that. So they've got all, basically all, the whole series. I've got the pilot, and then all 7 seasons. They just, I think, finished season 7, and that's how I discovered it, is that they were on, you could get them on physical media. And I said, well, shit, I'll just wait till season 7's done, which I did, and then I bought all of them. Now I've got the whole series, and I've heard Rebels is quite good, too. So, aside from that, we found a local mom-and-pop retail store. It's a gaming store up here, and really liked the guys. A great selection of games. It's funny, I was going to finally break down and get an Xbox One X console, get a used or a new, I didn't even care, just so I could do the backwards compatible thing and maybe play a couple Xbox One games. And you couldn't get one. Everything is sold out because of the virus. Everyone's gone nuts. Every console's gone. People are like selling Switches for hundreds of dollars more than what they're worth online, and sadly the same thing. Greed always comes in, and so I'll wait on it. Maybe I'll get one, and maybe I'll get a Series X. I heard those supposedly will play almost any Xbox game, backwards compatible, but I'm doubtful about that, but we'll see. So I'll wait. I'll get one down the road so I can do my backwards compatible thing, but because I do like the way they upscale many of the older Xbox and Xbox 360 games. But I found some good ones. I'll quickly go through these. I've always wanted to get the Tomb Raider trilogy for the PlayStation 3, so now I've got all of those. Tomb Raider Anniversary, Underworld, which I already had, I think, for the Xbox 360, and then Legend. So many of these are fantastic games. They've kind of in HD. They've redone them. Hitman Trilogy I got for the Xbox 360. These games I got for, like, my God, these were like a third of what Dimples would have charged. This guy was, I almost felt guilty buying them so cheap. Many of these games were like $1.99 each, like $2.99, $4.99. I'm like, oh my God. A couple of them were pricey. He knew he had a couple ones that were like $15, but most of them were pretty expensive. This is like $2. Cool Borders 2001. I've never played this. I always wanted to have it. So I want to get a couple PlayStation 2 games I've been missing. This is one that I loved. I played this at my father-in-law's house and loved it. The Angel of Darkness Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 2. Really good. I like it. Some people didn't care for this too much, but I really did like the darker story, and the platforming I thought was good in it. Tomb Raider Legend, I wanted to get a copy of that as well, just to have it for the Xbox 360. The Namco Museum, it's one I have most of the collections of the Atari ones, and a lot of these I already have, but this is one I've been missing. And you get really the best of all worlds, pole position games and the Pac-Man games and what have you. Really cool. Now this is a very cool game I've always wanted to get, and it's like a racing game but with chariots, and it's called Circus Maximus Chariot Wars. Kind of like a Gladiator. It reminds me of the Gladiator movie, and they get chariots. I've looked for this for years, 3 years at least. I've been looking for this. I could never find it. I go in there, this guy's got 6 of them. So I'm going through picking out the cleanest one with no scratches and brought it home, but really a good deal. And another one I've been looking for some time is NASCAR 07. One of the last really good NASCAR games on the original Xbox. Really good game. So I scored there. I got some really good old games, very cheap. And I got strategy guides. This guy had millions of strategy guides. I'll try to show these as quickly as I can. This is going to be hard because these are heavy. Got Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas guide. Very cool. And these guides, most of these guides were $1.99 each. They even had Wolfenstein and Singularity. $1.99 each. I already had them. I didn't want to spend too much money, otherwise I would have bought those just to give them to a friend or something. But Ghost Recon Island Thunder, these are games that I all recently just got, so I'm thrilled to find this. I got tons of these Ghost Recon guidebooks. Rainbow Six 3, another one that I've got the game for the Xbox, very cool. Rainbow Six Lockdown, this is another fantastic game. Some of these games are really some of the best FPS games, even to this day. And some people still play these on the PC or the Xbox. And now I think that this is the last. Now I have all the Splinter Cell books finally. So Pandora's Tomorrow. This is the only one I was missing. I've got all the other ones. I got Double Agent and all of the other Splinter Cell books. This cost me. It was kind of pricey. You wanted $14.99 for this. I would have paid $59.99 for it. Duke Nukem Total Meltdown. This is the only game that I'm missing from my original PlayStation collection. I had this. I had Duke Nukem Total Meltdown. I had Land of the Babes, and I had oh God, what's my favorite? The other one there that I liked, the Time to Kill, which I also have a guide for. And I donated all three of those to Classic Game Room, which I'm happy they were reviewed by CGR Undertow. But this is one game I miss. I mean, I've got so many versions of it already. It's not the end of the world, but I would like to have my PlayStation 1 version back, where this actually correlates for the Sony PlayStation. Very cool. I love these, especially the Duke Nukem. I mean, you can't pass it up. Good stuff. So this one was $15, but all these other guidebooks were like, some of them were like $3, a couple of them. I got Far Cry 2, so now I have all the Far Cry ones. I've got Far Cry 3, I've got 4, I've got 5, I've got all the guidebooks for all the Far Crys now. Turok, another game I got about a year ago, finally, for my collections. I'm thrilled to have this. This one, the cover is a little beat up. I don't care. When the guidebooks, I'm just happy to have it. As long as all the pages that are there, I don't care if there's some damage. I also got Tomb Raider Anniversary, another one that I want. This is for the Wii, but you could probably use it for just in general. It's so nice to find these in the wild. I said, and maybe I'll get the Wii version of this sometime. Who knows? Here's one of my favorite games, a Vietnam game, which is Conflict Vietnam. I've played this so many times on the PlayStation 2. Now I've got the original Xbox version. So now I can play this on the PC, PS2, or Xbox, it says on the top. This is a great game. Fantastic. It's kind of a third-person shooter, very fun, but very, very cool. And then speaking of Nam, I also got Men of Valor, which is an outstanding original Xbox FPS game. God, I love this game. It's so fun and quite challenging at times. Great guidebooks. $2. All of these. I went back the next day. I thought of it. I said, I'm going to go back and I buy every guidebook that he had that I didn't have already. He had a lot of them that I had. The Suffering. I mean, it's a shame he didn't have the Suffering 2 guide, but I'm just happy to have the first one, I have both the Suffering 1 and 2. Great games for the Xbox. Call of Duty 2. Now I have all the Call of Duty guides as well. Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty 3 he had. I was shocked. I'm like, God, my God. Now I have, I've got every Grand Theft Auto guide. I've got all the Call of Duty guides. Brothers in Arms. I used to have this one, Road to Hill 30, and there's another older Xbox one I had as well, which I need to get back. But these are great kind of like squad-based tactical shooter game. Really cool. Some of the best World War II games you can get are the Brothers in Arms series. Outstanding. One of my favorite James Bond games developed by Infinity Ward that makes all the Call of Duty games, and that's Quantum of Solace 007. Even the HUD has like the COD graphics on it. Very, very cool. This is an outstanding game. I really love this. Is when I started playing and I played it all the way through. I loved it so much. The Club, I just recently bought this game for the Xbox 360. Kind of like a timed, it's from the company that made a lot of racing games. And it's kind of like a racing game, but to see how fast you can go through a level and take out the enemies. Very unusual, very strange, kind of a hybrid of a game, but very cool and highly recommended. This is one I just started playing a year ago. I got about maybe a third of the way into it. I want to get back to this. And that's Dead to Rights tongue-tied here. Dead to Rights Retribution. I can't remember the other two Dead to Right games I have for the original Xbox. This one's for the 360, but it's an outstanding game. Really violent. Just a fantastic game. Great shootouts in this. Really good enemies. I think the AI is not bad on this. Pretty good. And then I got this kind of cheesy game, but I had to have it. It's a Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, just to have it. If they had Dawn of Fate, another kind of a lousy Terminator game, I would have bought that guide as well. But it's just so cool to have these. So I got all those guidebooks And those games, all of that for like $130 or something. Dirt cheap. Dimples, that would have been over $300, easy. And I would have paid the Dimples prices. So that's my games and pickups. Now I'll get into, we just had, yesterday was a release of the reboot of Destroy All Humans, which I have. So I naturally bought it. Now I had to get the game. There's a long story behind this. Here's the new remaster that just came out. These are $40, typically brand new you can get. And then I have these are the original Xbox ones, Destroy All Humans and the original Xbox. I also have it for the PlayStation 4 remastered in 1080. Looks really good. And then I have Destroy All Humans 2 also I've got for the PlayStation 4. That's a great way to play these. You can download these. There's many PlayStation 2 games that were for the that are on the PlayStation 4, like Manhunt. Oh, I also bought recently tons. They had a sale on PS2 games, and I bought, like, finally, I've got Red Dead Revolver, I've got Manhunt, I bought like every single Rockstar game, San Andreas that I was missing for the PlayStation 4, so I've got them all. And then also for the Xbox 360, The Path of Furon. Very cool. The only game, the final game in the series that was on the Xbox 360. Very cool. So I love this series to death. This is a game I've played a couple times all the way through. It's so good. Pandemic Studios, one of my favorites. What's great is in 1 year, they made Destroy All Humans, they made Mercenaries, the first Mercenaries, and they did Star Wars Battlefront 2, and they developed and produced all three of those games in 1 year for a very small development team. Now, today, it takes 5 years to make half a game, and they slowly work on the rest of it you should buy as DLC, but it is what it is. I even have the strategy guide for the first one. I'd like to find the one for the second one, too, but we'll see. In time. Right now, the games, by the way, have like doubled in price. Retro games and even some strategy guides, the prices, just the price gouging is horrible right now. Really bad, really bad. So anyway, I got I pre-ordered the special edition. I couldn't afford the big $400 one with the thing. So let me see if I can, it's not too heavy, but it's just bulky. I got the Destroy All Humans. It's called the DNA Collector's Edition, and it includes this content here as a skin pack on DLC. You get like 6 skins, I think. You've got some artwork and keychains and a variety of stuff. I thought I'd do an unboxing. The idiots, because now typically I would have been right there when the store opened, got right in, got my copy. I had to wait till my wife got off work. Here I'm in my bed, on opioids. I can't drive anywhere. It will be months, like 3 months before I can drive a car. So my driving days are done for a while, but so my wife had to pick it up for me. So I called them to confirm that they had. Oh yeah, we got your Xbox One copy of it here. I said, dude, I pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 copy. No, we don't have any of those, but we have. It says here Xbox One. Well, it wasn't, and I had the receipt to prove that I paid for the PS4 version. So what they did is they gave me the game for free. They took the Xbox One out so they could resell it, and they gave me this one. So at least I've got the game. It doesn't really, to me, I don't care. It's just the box. I may throw the box out, but it is a nice looking box. But I thought I'd do an unboxing. Let's see if I can open it up here. I already cut the plastic tabs on the top to get the game out last night so I can install it in my hard drive. I got my knife here just in case. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can set this down somewhere. Comes with the artwork, a bunch of litho prints. Really gorgeous little prints. Very cool. Yeah, this is such a great game. God, I miss this so much. Crypto 137. I couldn't remember the number, what the number was. Here's his Supreme Master up in the mothership here. Very cool. These are really nice art prints. Serving up a human head. It's like a James Bond scene, laser cut deal here. Very cool. Some cow tipping action. Very cool. These are really nice little litho prints. It was a little. And what's cool is that they actually had all the original scenes. It's like a remaster of not. I mean, they really kept the levels pretty much the same, but with much better graphics and lighting. And they added some new combat mechanics. Like in the original, you had to choose between using your powers or using a weapon. This one you can do both. So they made it a little bit more free-flowing. He can also have kind of like a free-floating skateboarding thing. He's able to jetpack a little bit more, where before the jetpacking was kind of limited on the original ones. So I'm real happy to have this game. This is something I'm going to we're going to hook up, and I have a special room called a recovery room in our house, one of our extra guest rooms. And so my wife, we bought a day bed in there, and I've got a brand new 43-inch 4K HDR Samsung in there. And because I'm going to be recovering for probably 6 months from the surgery. So I'm kind of living in that room, and I've got my own bathroom. It's real close by there, and we have, everything specially set up for handicap. We've got a walker and special toilet set up and everything. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's just the way it is. I mean, this back surgery was very extensive. It's a fusion where they fused 3 vertebrae and replaced 2 of the disc, and they had to cut some bone off my hips and grind it up, and so my hips are sore, my back is killing me. I got a huge Frankenstein scar down my lower back. It's horrible. The pain is like just brutal, right? Really, really tough. I'm just happy I can get in front of the camera again. It's been so long. So then it has a little toy here. I'll get my knife out. Those little stress toys. That's great. Crypto. So it's great because he's got that Jack Nicholson voice. There's a really cool keychain here. Oh yeah, this is nice. It's kind of like an anodized aluminum. Kind of embossed, really cool little keychain. I'm gonna have to use that. It looks pretty cool. And then I got some foam and stuff in here. Oh, all right, here's the box within the box. I may have to tip this. I don't know how this comes out of here. Let's see. I'm gonna have to probably see if it'll slide out. There we go. So, I mean, it only says Xbox on the box. It doesn't really matter whether I have the Xbox One but here it is. I had to have this. In fact, I like this one better than the $400 one. This is $150, a little pricey. I haven't bought a special collectible for myself in some time, since the Wolfenstein 2, the Terrabilia. That was the last time I bought one. And then I think it was like Far Cry 4 before that. I got that as well. I've got a lot of rants planned. Tons of rants, a lot to talk about with the PlayStation 5, a lot of new games coming out, like the new Far Cry and things I'm anxious to talk about. Let's see if I can get this. Is a really handsome box. I like this box, but oh, God, my back is killing me. Let's see if I can open this up. Oh, it's taped, I see. There's tape on it. All right, there's the tape. Oh, wow. This is so cool, so you have to assemble it somewhat. Yeah, a little bit of assembly required with this guy, but it's going to be well worth it. And there you have it. It's a gorgeous model done in some kind of a polyplastic. It's got all these, like, the cow floating up here and the jetpack. There's Crypto 137. Really cool. So his jetpack's just railing above the flying saucer. Great detail inside the flying saucer in the cockpit. This is a beautiful collectible. I might even have this on my desk. I got that new Philips Hue ambient lighting behind here, and this would look great with it backlit. So it's rare I get these collectibles anymore. I usually won't spend the money, but this is one I had to have. And I wanted to support the devs. I'd love to see them make a second one. I don't know if they will or not, but THQ is doing good. They're making a lot of really cool games that I want to see, and I want to support them. So I always like to support the devs if they're making games that I like, or especially collectibles that I like. And this is definitely one collectible I had to have. I love this flying saucer. I have a huge VHS library. I've got all of these, sci-fi movies from the 50s in black and white, like Them, and The Outer Worlds, and a lot of the older black and white, This Island Earth. I've got all these classics, and this whole game reminds me of those 50s sci-fi movies where everyone had all this paranoia, and they deal with all the communism at the time, the Cold War. It's very cool. So that's the Destroy All Humans, the DNA edition, collector's edition anyway. Very happy to have it. Some real nice little collectibles with it. Other than that, just kind of recapping, we had a very good move here. It was tough to get Vinny here. I was worried about my gaming stuff and all the TVs that we had, so we rented a brand new Ford van from U-Haul, which is cheap, like $500. Not even like a box one, just a regular, like a Ford Transit van. And it was just big enough to fit all my games, all my movie collections, my neon, everything that's fragile, our computers, everything that we were worried about. And I personally drove it. That's what did my back in. It was just too much. And my wife drove the Challenger with Vinny. We had to give Vinny tranquilizers, and he was a mess. He didn't like that drive at all. It was like an 8.5-hour drive. But we got here safe, and we're moved in, and man, this house is beautiful. We love it. My blood pressure has gone way down. There's just no stress here. We're in no hurry to get anywhere. The people are so nice. There's no civil unrest. They had a couple very peaceful protests at the Capitol downtown. No civil unrest, no hatred, no graffiti, no looting, nothing. It's like paradise. This is the perfect place for us. It's funny, all of these other big cities are run by these left-wing Democrats or just progressives. They're running the cities into the ground. And they have a responsibility to the people to support, to keep the police going and protect innocent people. Innocent people and children are getting shot and killed, and it won't happen. And the police said here that it will not happen here. They've had a very high police presence, but the police gives a lot back to the community here, and it shows. So there's a good respect for the police here. I'm not like the big cities, where they hate the cops. And there is a lot of dishonesty with some police forces, around the country, and I know of a few that they're corrupt, and there are some bad policemen, obviously. But by and large, I support the police and law and order. But to me, you have to have that. When anarchy comes in, it all falls apart. So we love it here in Boise, the Boise area. We actually live in Meridian, but it's just part of the Boise area, the Ada County. And really a nice place, great place to live, wonderful place to have a family, and we just love it here. It's like going to Maui, but you never get to go home. That's where you live, That's how peaceful it is. You get a beautiful backyard. I'm anxious to show you the whole house when I can. When I get a little bit more mobility and get around and finish the garage here, and then I'll do a nice tour video for you guys. But anyway, before I ramble on and on, I just want to let you know I'm back, I'm safe. I had my surgery, thank God, finally, and now I'm suffering so much pain. But I'm going to try to edit this and get it uploaded. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate the kind support and friendship you've given me over the years, and especially these last few months. It really has meant a lot to me, and I do appreciate it very, very much. Thank you all, and enjoy your games.